dangerous municipalities in Gauteng is Ekurhuleni. We thought we had seen it all with the tragic murder of Babita Deokaran, but what followed proved things were even worse. Babita was killed after uncovering a dark web of corruption linked to Tembisa Hospital. She was investigating irregular contracts awarded to shady companies connected to criminal syndicates. Now these companies were bleeding the hospital dry, working hand in hand with corrupt officials inside the hospital and in government. Their modus operandi is to inflate the prices of everything the hospital bought, from basic supplies to medical equipment. And the then hospital CEO, Ashlim Toons, signed off on every single one of these inflated invoices. In total, more than 850 million rands was siphoned from Tembisa Hospital. It was not a shock that some of the people behind these companies were members of the ANC. Now today, some of the people were investigated, but some were not. And all of them were never held accountable. Now Babita had flagged several suspicious companies before her death, but after she was silenced, the looting continued. One of the flagged companies was Kaizen Projects, owned by the former ANC Ekurhuleni Treasury General Sello Sekoko. At the height of the Tembisa Hospital scandal, he was running for ANC Ekurhuleni Regional Chairperson, and he won. But many insiders believe that the stolen hospital millions funded that campaign. All in all, the Kaizen Project's boss, Sello Sekoko, made between 84 and 94 million rands from tenders, not just from Tembisa Hospital, but from other hospitals across Gauteng as well. And he did it all without a valid license to sell medical products. Simniki Wamapi was an adjudicator in the city of Ekurhuleni's finance department, was driving near Red Airport in Germiston on the 8th of December 2023 when tragedy struck. He was with a colleague when he stopped at the traffic lights, and out of nowhere, two shooters appeared and opened fire, unleashing a hail of shots on their car. Simnikiwe died on the scene and his colleague survived. Simnikiwe was known as a dedicated worker, serious, committed and unshakable. At the time of his death, he was investigating dodgy contracts handed out by the city, specifically for chemical toilets or the bucket system and waste management. No arrests were made on this hit. Then on the 30th of June 2025, another city official was laid down, this time on the R300 near Esland Park. Mphomafole was driving when shooters pulled up in an Avanza and sprayed his vehicle with shots. When the police and paramedics arrived just before 6 p.m, Mpho was found laying in a pool of blood. He was pronounced dead on the scene. Sources close to the situation said this wasn't random. It was a hit. Mpho was on the brink of exposing a massive 2 billion rands electricity scandal involving tempered accounts, ghost billing, and a system designed to rob the city blind. Some businesses were paying next to nothing for electricity, while others had disappeared from the system completely, but still receiving the electricity. But that's not all. Mpho was also investigating the refurbishment of a municipal building in Germiston, a project that was supposed to cost 64 million rands and take 1 year. Instead, the cost ballooned to over 300 million rands, and more than 8 years later, the building is still not finished. Mpho had only been appointed as the city's group divisional head of corporate and forensic audits 3 months before he was killed. Just like Mphomafole, Kagiso Lerutla started his career at the Auditor General's office before joining the city of Ekurhuleni in 2014. He became the divisional head of governance and compliance in the city's finance department. Effectively, he was the CFO. On a quiet Thursday afternoon, Lerutla was driving alone through Primrose, heading towards Germiston when an attempt was made on his life. He noticed a suspicious Hyundai i10 following him. Suddenly, it overtook his car and blocked his path. Two shooters, one in the front and one in the back of the car, opened fire. Lerutla managed to escape by covering his face. The bullets hit his hand. Now bleeding from his hand, he drove all the way home. He then pulled out the 2 bullets himself and then went to open a case at the Kempton Park police station. Now what makes this even more chilling is that Lerutla was the boss of Sinikio Mapini, the city official who was laid down in Germiston. Now both men were reportedly working together as part of a team investigating the Ekurhuleni Metro cartel, network of corrupt individuals looting the city's funds through fraudulent or questionable contracts and tenders. Lerutla survived the ambush, but the message was loud and clear: back off. Then on the 20th of July, a 40-year-old man from Davidson, Thabane Goodwill Nchalinchali, was arrested for the assassination of Mpho Mafole. Shockingly, Thabane was already out on bail for another hit of DJ Bongani Mfihlo, which happened in Kempton Park back in September of 2023. But this time, the Kempton Park Magistrates Court denied him bail. As for the other two victims, Sinikiwe Mapini and the attempted hit on Kagiso Lerutla, no one has been arrested. What's happening in these municipalities is deeply disturbing. Whenever auditors uncover corruption and report it to senior officials, instead of action being taken, something darker unfolds. Corrupt insiders within the municipality team up with shady business people who benefit from the illegal tenders, and they hire hitmen to silence the auditors who ask too many questions. It's truly a deadly game of greed and fear. Now these criminals are enriching themselves at the expense of taxpayers, while ordinary people continue to suffer from poor or non-existent service delivery. On the 19th of April 2025, a fire broke out in the emergency unit of Tembisa Hospital. Then 4 days later, another fire, this time close to the archive rooms where they kept important documents, some of them related to the corruption that happened around 2021 when Babita was auditing the hospital. Then came a twist. The suspect was caught and he confessed to starting the fire. He didn't stop there. He also named the hospital's head of security as being involved. I suspect this is part of the same cartel. And what's likely to happen next? As always, new contracts will be issued to repair the damages, and companies linked to the same cartel will swoop in, charging massively inflated prices and taking over 10 years to do the job that's supposed to take a year. Now this is how the city of Ekurhuleni operates, under the iron grip of government cartels that loot state funds and silence anyone who dares to expose them. Recently, the end of July of 2025, the streets of Tembisa erupted in violent protests as angry residents clashed with police, blocking roads and demanding answers. And the cause was the new tariff of 126 rands slapped on top of Eskom's regular price hikes. For a community already struggling, this increase was unbearable. Many said this was pushing them deeper into poverty, while those in power are getting richer by the day. Now all of this is happening while the Ekurhuleni Metro is dishing out fraudulent tenders with up to 2 billion rands handed to shady companies connected to government officials, instead of helping the communities or giving them service delivery. But they don't care. You see, at this point it's clear the government has no shame. They've crossed the line of no return, and there's no turning back from this corruption they've allowed to rot the system from the inside out. And until there's real justice for Babita Deokaran's death, the Ekurhuleni Gauteng cartel, they won't stop from looting this whole purse.
Hey.
As a chairman, we have a responsibility to provide leadership. Otherwise, there is no reason not to support as a chairman.
Yeah.
Because you are not able to provide the wisdom, leadership in the branch.
Okay.
Because what is happening?
Number one where? Oh, kule Uh,
we're number one group.
yeah.
And I mean, I'm telling my panel, you score a band.
Mm.
I'm just asking basic questions. Right, Comrade France. I was saying the last time I checked, we were working together.
Yeah.
I've not been to your branch. It's only recently I learned with Ayman. Lento lehlala ikhulunywa seyingene nasebranchini. Kulobishwa ngayo and all that.
Hey. No, hayi. Ngokuzwela mkhokheli. Ngokuzwela.
Bengibuza nje mina ukuthi amangibona sowufake enye indoda uyifake ku-profile picture. Enye indoda.
Ya, hey, amafosi wami athi awangithembi.
Ufuna ukuthenjwa abo, awufuna ukuthenjwa yimi. Yimi uchairman weyinsila, yimi umeya. Wena ufuna ukungiwisa. Ufuna ukuthenjwa.
As I told you, Uche, it's not an easy decision, this one.
Okay, right. I mean, I don't have a problem. I'm just saying, we're coming from far with you. I supported that branch for the longest time. But if you want to do it, it's okay.
All right, leader.
Okay, if it's based on facts, it's fine. We'll have a discussion there, because in whatever that you do, we'll still have a discussion. Call me.
Okay.
Even if you post your BGM, then the nobody are winning or winning.
Yeah.
You can still
Call you. No, I think it's a good idea. We'll definitely do that.
Sure.
Sharp leader.